Hello all, Lori here. Today I'm going to show you how to use Simple Pleasure Designs by Jennifer Fair, Mistletoe and Holly Editable Alpha. There are two dot page files, and when I'm using Artisan, what I do will basically be the same in Artisan 4 or 5, very few differences, or even in Storybook Creator. And I'm going to show you exactly how this is set up, how to change out the paper to customize these, and how to cut them apart easily by doing just a few clicks. First, I duplicated the page. You can see over here that I have a duplicated page. I'll go down to that one. Look. At this, and I do make that background black just to get it invisible, just to get it out of my way. Now, I could grab everything, but I want you to know exactly what you're grabbing over here and what you're not grabbing. This top layer, if I turn it off and back on, you can see that that gives it that shiny kind of a bubbled effect with the light. So when I grabbed everything, it didn't grab that layer, and you do want to grab that one also. This layer is the stitching. This layer, of course, is the buffalo plaid, and there's a layer down here that's turned off. If I turn off the buffalo plaid and turn on this is the black layer that you see down in the preview. So it's invisible, but it's there just in case you wanted it. I'll turn that buffalo plaid back on, and this is the background, so it's that kind of a wood outline look. And when you grab in order to cut these apart, you don't have that top layer. So make sure to go up and just grab that also, because it didn't cut down quite the way everything else did. Not a big deal, just letting you know. So you've decided what word you want to use, or words, what letters you need for your page. And you could go through and just cut them all apart so that they're all totally separate all at once. Or you could just cut apart the letters that you need each time. It really doesn't matter. The process is quite similar. And you can do this in Storybook Creator, Artisan 4 or 5. With those highlighted, I will go to Cut. And for this, I am going to go to Custom and cut out a straight path. Now, say I wanted to use the C because I wanted it to start the word Christmas. I only have to cut around the C itself. Now, if I can't see anything very well in between because they're very close together, I can zoom it and I can keep cutting. And I just want to make sure that I haven't clipped anything. Now, if I have clipped anything, I can say complete this figure. And the nice thing is, and of course I didn't clip, but once you say complete the figure, you can then come fix anything if you did clip rather than having to redraw. From here, what I'm going to do is keep both areas. It's going to keep everything that's inside this, and it's going to keep everything outside this. I do have other choices. I could say just keep the shaded area, since this is shaded, and then copy. I could do many different things with it, but I am going to keep both areas. So let's just bring it back to the normal size and click keep both areas and say cut. And I will give that a moment because it is a bit of a lengthy process. What you can see now is I've got those C's separated out with each layer, and then the rest of my alpha. If I grab just that C and pull it over here, you have the whole. And that's why sometimes I will choose what I want and just do copy. Now, if I did want to cut all of these away, so I could go through and do this same thing with another letter. So let's say I want to take the H now. I would again highlight everything, and I would probably, because I'm this way, would go through and deselect the C out of there, and then use custom. And if I were going for the H next, I could cut this, and again keep both areas and cut and work my way through, and eventually of course I would have all of the different letters cut out and individual. Another thing that I could do, make sure that I get everything that I want, and I don't have to deselect those, is I could go to cut and my straight line, I'll put in 90 degrees, and I could very carefully make sure that I've got both sides. I could keep both areas and cut, and now it will cut those alphas in half. So many different ways that you can go through and separate these if you so choose. Totally up to you. We'll give that just a moment, and now it's cut up. How do I change out that buffalo check letter? Well, with the C and the H, which right now are individual, if I wanted to change those, over in my photos I've pulled in some other papers, and I've highlighted them both so I could go grab a paper and put it in, or each paper could be different, changing it one at a time. But the cool thing is, let me zoom this up a little bit, you can see that you do still have the stitching and that shiny area right here. I'll turn it off on the H and off on the C. So you can see that that's still there to give you that kind of an epoxy look on these letters if you want. I could grab that C, copy it, paste it, put it on another page, however I want. But that is one way to use these alphas and customize them any way you like. Have fun!